It's the middle of the day on a Wednesday. A year ago, I'd have been 3 meetings deep in my cybersecurity career. Today, my only deadline is how long am I going to stay at this lake? I retired 1 year ago at age 51. And in that time, I've realized the most valuable thing I ever purchased wasn't a house, it wasn't a car, but it was my time. I bought over 2,000 hours back this year that used to belong to someone else. Now they belong to me. If you think early retirement is only for investing geniuses, well, I'm living proof that that's not true. So today I'm going to share with you what I've learned in my first 365 days of being early retired.
Away we go traveling.
Our goal was early retirement. We had that goalpost and we left it in place. You'll find if you keep moving your goalposts, it's going to be really hard to catch up with them. We realized every dollar we didn't spend on that shiny new thing was another dollar we could use to fund our path to freedom. We didn't lower our standards. We just raised the value of Wednesday. Instead of the shiny new thing that a lot of people buy, the shiny new thing we bought was time. And the great part is we get that every day. Every morning, a new pile of shiny new time shows up for us. We get to do exactly what we want every day. And it's fantastic. And here's the thing. I'm not an investing genius. We dumb lucked into this. Now, there's a little bit of a caveat to that. We saved and we invested. But in reality, I didn't even look into how to invest or what to do until just a few years ago. What we did right, though, was we started investing early. We put away a little bit of money early. And the greatest thing we had in our favor, really, was time and compound interest, which are just fantastic for growing wealth. The best time to invest was really when you were 16, you had your first job. But the second best time is now. If you don't have anything saved for retirement or not as much as you'd like, start now or add more now. Give yourself that time. Give yourself the opportunity for that money to compound, and you can find yourself in the same situation. Early retirement is not a gated thing that only a certain number of people can do. Anybody can do this. Anybody can early retire. With a little bit of preparation and knowledge, you can do it significantly easier than I did. Having the financial freedom to retire can definitely be for everyone. All right, just as a matter of comparison with regards to net worth. So we've been retired about a year. Our net worth, even though we've been living off of it for the past year, has actually grown by 10 to 15%. Now, obviously, this has been a good market year. I would imagine if anybody's invested in the market, you've also seen your returns go up. But with a basic portfolio, I think we're about 65% stock, 35-ish% bonds or cash, nothing special. Our portfolio was able to grow even though we're living off of it. So I was worried when we first started retiring if I would stress about the money, if I would really have a problem with that. But in reality, it's been easier than I expected. Yeah, I still pay attention to what our net worth is, and I still pay attention to how the markets are moving, but I don't worry about it nearly the way I did prior to being retired. Okay, some advice for those who are looking to do this, and maybe you're getting to that point. So you're going to need to determine what your pull is. And I mean that by you had 30 years, sometimes less, sometimes more of your work, and that was your pull. I got to get out of bed to go do my job. I've got to go make money. I've got to go run my business, whatever it is. When you're retired, you've got to figure out what your pull is. You can't just say, I'll get up and figure it out tomorrow. You need to have a goal. You need to have a thing that you've retired to. Don't just retire and sit on the couch. Know what your pull is. Try to think about it in this way. If you were retired for 6 months and somebody asked you, what do you do in your retirement? The answer should not just be, I'm retired. Think about what your answer would be in that case, and that can help you define your pull. All right, so in our early retirement, we're looking to do what I want to describe as, I want to make memories that are going to make me nostalgic for them in 10 or 20 years. I think we can all think back to a time when we were kids and you did something really fun, or maybe even as an adult, you took an amazing vacation, or you did things with friends. And that period of time was just amazing. And you still reference it. You talk about the stories. You talk about the things you did. You talk about how much fun it was. We want to build those same memories in early retirement. So I was talking about our pull. That's what we're doing. We've early retired to full-time travel because we want to build a set of memories that 10 years from now, 20 years from now, maybe when we can't travel like this anymore, we can look back on and go, that was an amazing time. So that's what we're trying to do with ours. And I would hope if you're going to do your early retirement, think about the same types of things. All right. So in our full-time retirement, some of the things that are better and some of the things that are worse. Well, I think it was significantly easier to leave work than I expected. I fully expected to be consumed with what I used to do and be upset that I no longer did that. I no longer have a title. I no longer have responsibilities. I no longer have people that do work for me. And I thought I would miss that. And honestly, I didn't miss that for 1 second. And I think I might be odd in that way. But I would like to think that if you're building towards your early retirement and you've got a career and you're satisfied with that career, once you retire, you can switch that off and go on to a new thing. But in my case, it didn't bother me at all. And that's been significantly better than I expected. All right, some of the things that have been worse than I expected. Routine has been really difficult. We've talked about this in previous videos, but when you have a job and you have a career and you've got that 8-hour block of time that's sort of filling out your day, you fill in everything around it. Your mornings and your afternoons and your evenings kind of fill in around your job. We don't have that now. So even though we have a pull, we have this full-time travel, we have this YouTube channel, we have, things we want to do and see, we have the ability to have a pull. We don't have a routine, or at least that routine is different and it changes all the time. Now, maybe that's good. Maybe the fact that we don't have a routine is a routine. Maybe the fact that, we do full-time travel and we get to do things all the time and it keeps us agile and it keeps us thinking on our feet. Maybe that's great. But as I think about it and I think about the things that I sort of miss, having a routine is definitely something that I've looked at and said, I really would like to figure this one out. So that's been worse than expected. Another really a big plus, another things better than expected. You'd be surprised how cool the mundane is when you compare it to what you could be doing. And in this case, like I said, I'm at a lake and it's nothing special. It's a lake. It's nice out, sun shining, wind's blowing, but I could be at work. I could be dealing with meetings. I could be dealing with people. I could be dealing with deadlines, but I'm not. I'm here at this lake and it's very relaxing. And we run into that quite a bit. We'll be doing things that aren't all that exciting, but in reality, when you compare it to what we could be doing, are pretty fantastic. There've been a number of times where we're doing something and we'll just kind of stop and go, man, this is what we do. And that's pretty cool. Another thing we've learned, nothing beats experience. And I think you've probably heard that phrase before, and it's probably true in a lot of areas. It's also really true in early retiring and full-time travel. We have learned so much over the last year. And even though we had prepared extensively, we'd read books, we'd watched videos, we'd seen articles, we've talked to other people, nothing really prepares you for the actual logistics and things you'll run into, problems you'll have. Nothing is going to do that like the experience of doing it. And, in our case, we've learned a ton. And I fully expect over the next year, 5, 10, whatever it is we end up traveling, we're going to learn that much more. We're going to look back at this time where we think, okay, now we've starting to figure it out and realize we didn't know. So if you're going to do this and you want to early retire and you want to full-time travel, just understand that nothing's going to beat experience. You're going to learn along the way. You're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. Again, it keeps us agile. It keeps our minds active, and it's part of the journey. So has every day been a vacation? Nope, not at all. Some days are very mundane. Some days are very boring. As Kara likes to say, we do ordinary things in extraordinary places. So, a lot of times we're just doing laundry or we're making dinner or we're cleaning up, things you would do in normal life, but we're doing it in cool and new places to us. So no, this is not a vacation. The lifestyle of full-time travel and early retirement, it's got some vacation aspects to it, but in reality, it's a lot like normal life. But instead of having that big chunk of time every day that somebody else owns, you own that time and you get to decide how you fill it. So since we have all this time, have we been bored? No. We're always shocked at the end of a day when we look at it and realize, man, we did a lot of stuff today. We filled a lot of time. And then we're always wondering, how did we get our regular lives done when we had a full-time job? So for those of you that are still working and you have to do all the time management and all those things, that's a tough job and you're doing a great job, but just know you won't be bored. Even if you lose all that time and things you were working on, and if you are the type of person who has to fill every moment of every day, you'll figure out a way to do it. But no, we haven't been bored at all. That is the farthest thing from what we've been. So I think it helps that we have sort of planned events. We have planned travel. We have things we're trying to do, things we want to see. Obviously, we're filming stuff for YouTube so we get out and do some stuff. But on the whole, boredom has been the farthest thing that we've had a problem with. You know, for us, even days that are quote unquote boring are good days to decompress. A lot of times you're just doing too much. You sightsee too much. You have things you're working on and you're like, you know what? I just need a day off to relax on the couch. It's almost like having a weekend, no matter what day it is. But it's not a level of boredom. It's a level of decompression and resetting for the next day. All right. For those of you still working and trying to get here, keep going. You're doing a great job. This is well worth the effort. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.